You're a diehard West Brom fan. I am. But let's be real. Supporting West Brom is like being a history enthusiast who roots for the losing battle. Man, I have been having a lot of fun with Grok, which is the AI that is available on X, formerly known as Twitter. I just started playing with it a little bit, and I thought, you know what? There's probably a video here. I think this might be something that we could have some fun with. So we're going to take a little time today to ask Grok AI some questions about me, some other YouTubers, some questions about history. We're going to see what it comes up with. I invite you to join me on the journey. And if you have any ideas at the end, let me know in the comment section for a part 2 for this video, some questions that I could ask. Let's dive in. Okay, so here we go. First things first, we need to ask the really important questions. What history YouTubers hate Woodrow Wilson the most? Let's see how good it is. I mean, at the very least, it's got to mention Cynical Historian and myself, right? Cynical Historian, all right. Alternate History Hub, really? Knowing better? All right, well, I wouldn't really call him a history YouTuber, but what's it say about Cynical Historian? Known for his in-depth analysis of historical figures, he has produced multiple videos critiquing Wilson, focusing on his racism, the Espionage Act, and his role in World War I. His approach often involves a deep dive into Wilson's policies and their long-term impacts, which are generally portrayed negatively. I have no problem with that. I agree 100%. All right, who would win in a fight between JD from the History Underground and Chris from Vlogging Through History? I think we're both too nice to get in a fight. Okay, so it involves a lot of speculation, physical condition. Both might be in decent shape due to their involvement in historic site visits, but specifics like strength, speed, or endurance would be unknown. JD works out. I don't really, so I think I'd have to give him the edge. We're both about the same height. I probably weigh a little more than him just because he's in better shape and leaner than I am. Combat experience. There's no public information suggesting either has formal combat training or experience in martial arts. Without this, we'd be looking at less skilled, more chaotic brawl scenario. Temperament. Their personalities, as shown in the videos, might give us clues. JD might have a calm, methodical approach given his historical analysis style, while Chris often shows enthusiasm and energy, which could translate to aggression or determination in a fight. Age and health. Age can be a factor, though both are likely to be around similar age brackets given their career stages. I'm a little older than JD. I think I've got him by about 5 years. Okay. Speculative outcome. Without any concrete data of their fighting skills or physical condition, it's really a toss-up. However, if forced to speculate, JD might have an edge if he's more methodical in his approach, potentially outlasting Chris in a longer fight by conserving energy or finding a strategic moment to strike. Chris could win if his energy translates into an overwhelming initial attack. Yeah, that's right. Or if he manages to keep the fight short and intense. In conclusion, it's all speculative fun. All right, fair enough. All right, rank the top 10 Civil War generals based on facial hair. Ambrose Burnside, number 1, baby. He better be. Joseph Hooker. Hooker did not have a mustache or a beard. Hooker was clean shaven. He was like one of the only generals who was clean shaven. Someone suggested to me that it would be fun to ask it to roast me. So that's what I'm going to do. History buff or buffoon. Chris, you've got a channel dedicated to history, but sometimes your reactions make me question if you're reacting to the actual history or just the drama of your own commentary. You're like the guy at the family reunion who tells the same story every year, but with more enthusiasm each time. All right, that was tough but fair. Tough but fair. Reaction king or content thief? Oh, here we go. You've built a career on reacting to other people's hard work. It's like being the kid who gets applause for eating the cake at the birthday party but didn't bake it. You're the control plus C of YouTube, where C stands for Chris. Can you please create your own content? Fashion forward or backwards? Let's talk about those outfits during your vlogs. Are you trying to blend in with the historical settings, or did you just forget your modern wardrobe at home? I have expect you to start vlogging in a powdered wig to match a clone. If I had a powdered wig, I would definitely do that. The accidental politician. You try to stay out of modern politics, but every now and then you dip your... This is really, like, scarily accurate right now. Only to realize the water's too hot. Your political takes are like watching someone try to navigate a minefield in flip-flops. You're just hoping for the best. Football fanatic. Dude, this thing's talking about my football fandom now. You're a diehard West Brom fan. I am. But let's be real. Supporting West Brom is like being a history enthusiast who roots for the losing battles. Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. At least you're consistent in your choices, even if those choices are historically doomed. Oh, wow, this is awesome. The pastor with a pastime. For someone who's a pastor, your passion for history sometimes overshadows your sermons. I bet half your congregation is more excited about your next vlog than your actual sermon. They're probably tired of me talking about history in my sermons. Maybe you should start preaching the gospel of historical accuracy. Oh, here we go. Mr. Copyright Strike. Remember when CGP Grey laid down the law on your channel? No, I actually remember that a little differently. I remember when I won that battle, thank you very much. That was like watching a historical battle where you were the side that didn't realize the enemy had cannons. I actually think it's the other way around on that one. You learn the hard way that not all history is up for reaction. The name game. From the history guy to VTH Gaming, you've changed your channel name like someone who can't decide their major in college. But hey, at least you settle on vlogging through history. It's fitting for someone who's still figuring out how to make history without just commenting on it. Chris, you've turned your love for history into a career, which is commendable. But sometimes it feels like you're just the visitor in the museum of YouTube, pointing at exhibits rather than creating them. Keep vlogging, keep learning, but maybe next time bring your own cake to the party. Did somebody else write that? I mean, that's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic for AI. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed by that. I feel like we need to roast someone else now. All right. We're going to do my friend JD from the History Underground. JD Hewitt, the man whose love for history is only surpassed by his love for wearing baseball caps at historical sites. You've got more hats, and actually he pretty much wears the same hat. Than a vintage store, JD, but let's be honest, with that many hats, are you really hiding history or just a bad hair day? You travel across the world from Normandy to Arlington, bringing history to life for your viewers, but let's talk about your camera work. I actually think it's fantastic. Sometimes it feels like you're filming with a potato, or perhaps it's just the potato quality of some of the historical sites you visit. Now, listen, I am in awe of JD's camera work. I've been with him when he's filming, and I'll look over at him, and he's got like his camera down in the grass, and I'm like, what in the world is he doing right now? But then I see the finished product, and it's fantastic. So I wouldn't roast him for his camera work. Your dedication to history is commendable, JD, but your commitment to using every single minute of footage you've ever shot, less so. We've seen more extended director's cuts in your videos than in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, and that's saying something. And let's not forget about your narration style. You've got this soothing, calm voice that tells us about the horrors of war, but then you go and whisper like you're telling ghost stories. Oh, he's going to hate that, because he hates the whole ghost at Gettysburg thing. Are we learning history or getting ready for a horror movie? I don't think he whispers, though. Listen, I'm roasting JD because his is my absolute favorite channel on YouTube. So you've made history cool for a new generation, JD. But you've also made us realize that history teachers can be just as nerdy as we thought. With your love for artifacts that would make even Indiana Jones say, dude, chill out. It's just a rusty old gun. That is absolutely accurate. And I'm the same way with artifacts, so I get it. Lastly, your channel name, The History Underground. It's clever, but also, are we supposed to take that literally? Because some of your footage really looks like it was shot in someone's basement. No, he probably would hit his head in the basement if he was down there. But hey, JD, keep up the good work. If nothing else, you've shown us that history isn't just books, it's in the ground, in the artifacts, and apparently in every single baseball cap you own. Again, I think he only wears the one, though. Here's hoping to your next adventure includes a hat rack for all those historical toppers. That's awesome. All right, let's go big or go home. Roast Woodrow Wilson, please. Woodrow Wilson, the man who thought he could make the world safe for democracy while simultaneously segregating the federal workforce. Bravo, Mr. President. You championed the League of Nations but couldn't even convince your own country to join. Talk about a persuasive speaker. And let's not forget your 14 points, more like 14 pains for those trying to implement them. But hey, at least your academic credentials were impeccable, proving that even a PhD from Princeton can't save you from making colossal foreign policy blunders. And your handling of the Spanish flu, a true masterclass in what not to do. So here's to Woodrow Wilson, the president who thought he could change the world, but ended up just changing the wallpaper in the Oval Office. Write a speech praising Mr. Terry History. Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather to honor and celebrate the remarkable contributions of a man whose dedication to education has transcended the ordinary, Mr. Terry History. Mr. Terry History isn't just a teacher, he's a beacon of knowledge, a storyteller of the past, and an architect of future historians. His passion for history isn't confined to the pages of textbooks. It lives, breathes, and inspires through every lecture, every discussion, and every moment of his teaching. Imagine the classroom where history comes alive, where the figures of the past don't just exist in black and white, but in vivid colors of heroism, tragedy, and triumph. Mr. History. Oh, Mr. Terry. Okay, I get it. Interesting. This is a really long speech. Sorry, Mr. Terry, I'm not reading all of that, but it's good. That's really good. I appreciate that it had that much to say about him. All right, here we go. Top 10 best-looking history YouTubers. I think Drew Durnall's an attractive man. Markiplier, he's got a great voice, but I wouldn't call him a history YouTuber. Brandon F. Interesting. Lance, the history guy, made it. Sam O'Nella, we don't even know what he looks like. And Griffin, the armchair historian, mixed in with some other people that aren't really history YouTubers, but Sam O'Nella, Griffin, Hajime, he's a Japanese YouTuber. I'm not familiar with him. Lance has got that whole bow tie going on, so I'll accept it. Pat, he's not really a history YouTuber. I love Jacksepticeye. He's great. Markiplier, his voice is just so soothing and like he could narrate absolutely anything he wanted to. And I don't know who this first guy is, Uncle Roger. All right, we're going to get a starting 11 made up of history YouTubers. The goalkeeper is going to be somebody I've never heard of, Nota Bene. Historia Civilis is going to be one of the defenders, along with cynical historian. Nice. His critical and analytical approach to history would ensure no historical inaccuracies slip through the defense. Historia Civilis would be a tactical defender using his understanding of strategy in battles to organize the back line. All right, cool. Weird history with a knack for uncovering the lesser-known aspects of history. This channel would be an unpredictable defender, keeping opponents guessing. All right, midfielders, we've got Crash Course, Simple History, ideal for controlling the game's pace and transition play. Oversimplified. Ability to make complex history understandable and entertaining would be key in midfield, dictating the flow of the game with humor and insight. And who are our forwards? Kings and Generals! Their focus on animated historical documentaries means that we could spearhead the attack with vivid storytelling and strategic insights into warfare. Alternate History Hub. Cody's channel, while often speculative, could creatively outmaneuver opponents by envisioning different historical outcomes, pushing forward with innovative tactics. In Epic History TV, specializing in dramatic history, this channel could be the one to score the winning goals and their visually stunning and narrative-driven content. Who's the goalkeeper? Did we have a goalkeeper? Oh yeah, Nota Bene, that's right. I'm not familiar with that channel. Interesting. All right, that was pretty cool. All right, what YouTuber knows the most about the American Civil War? Now, I think the correct answer here would probably be the American Battlefield Trust. It's taken a long time to think about this one. Atten Shea Films. Oh, there we go. American Battlefield Trust. Vlogging through history. Actually, that's not a bad list. But I would not in any way measure my knowledge of the Civil War with the guys from the American Battlefield Trust. These are the best in the business. So Atten Shea Films is highly regarded for his entertaining and informative series Checkmate Lincolnites, which focuses on debunking myths and providing nuanced takes on Civil War history. The creator, Andy, combines humor with historical accuracy, making it a popular choice for those interested in the subject. I would agree with that. It's really good. American Battlefield Trust offers extensive content in Civil War history, including detailed battle analyses, historic site tours, and interviews with historians. Their YouTube channel features content from experts like Gary Edelman. Gary's got 2 R's in his name, though. It's Garry. Who's often cited for his knowledge on Civil War battlefields and events. Gary is phenomenal, and he's a wonderful guy, too. And so is Chris, and so are all the other people at the American Battlefield Trust. Vlogging Through History is noted for providing historical context and insights into various historical events, including the Civil War. The channel has collaborated with notable historians like Mr. Beat and Gary Edelman, suggesting a deep understanding and engagement with Civil War history. All right, cool. That's not a bad list. Like I said, I wouldn't compare myself to ABT, but I'll take it. I'm actually a little nervous about asking this question, but if Chris from Vlogging Through History were a president, which one would he be? Yeah! Yes! I'm Theodore Roosevelt. I'm really not. I'm nowhere near as hardcore as that guy was. Historical interest, that's true. Theodore Roosevelt did have a deep love of history, wrote history books. Educator and storyteller, known for his charisma and ability to communicate. I'm not as charismatic as him, but I'll take it. His bully pulpit was his way of educating and influencing public opinion. Roosevelt was a progressive who pushed for reforms, including trust busting and labor rights, which aligns with Chris's interest in explaining the motivations and outcomes of historical events, often with a nuanced view on social and economic justice. That's probably generous way of describing me, but I'll take it. Both share an energetic, enthusiastic approach to their interests. Roosevelt with his strenuous life philosophy, and Chris with his engaging delivery of his videos. All right. I don't see it, but I am not going to complain one bit. All right, same question. We're going to ask it about Mr. Terry. See what it says. Better not say Theodore Roosevelt. Give us a little something different here. It's really thinking hard about this one. He'd be Franklin Roosevelt. All right. Educational influence, known for his engaging history lessons, mirrors FDR's famous fireside chats. I like that. It's pretty good. FDR implemented the New Deal to address the Great Depression, showing a commitment to reform, much like how Mr. Terry might instill a love of history to reform students' understanding of the past. That's a little bit of a stretch, but we'll take it. Both have a knack for capturing an audience's attention, FDR with his radio addresses and Mr. Terry with his dynamic teaching style on platforms like YouTube. Roosevelt presided over a time of significant change in America, much like how Mr. Terry history could be seen as a guide through the tumultuous or transformative periods in history. There you go. We're both Roosevelts. If Chris from Vlogging Through History married a famous actress, who would it be? Tread carefully, Grok. Tread carefully. All right. Speculating on who Chris from Vlogging Through History might marry if he were to marry a famous actress involves considering his public persona and known preferences. However, there's no direct evidence or public statements from Chris himself on this matter. Based on the search results provided, here are some insights. Has a strong interest in history, particularly the American Civil War, World War I, and medieval English history. That's pretty good. Those are some of my greatest interests. He's pastor at Salineville Church of Christ, indicating his religious background. He leans politically conservative, but not strictly Republican. That's very accurate. He also values privacy and tends to avoid modern politics in his content, suggesting he might prefer someone who shares or at least respects these values. All right, so who do we get? Melissa Benoist? I don't know her. Known for her role in Supergirl, she has shown an appreciation for history through her character's backstory and has expressed personal values of kindness and respect, which align with Chris's work with Rachel's Challenge. All right, that's cool. Might have to look into this one a little bit. However, she's already married. Ah, you could have said that to begin with, which makes this speculative match rather than a likely one. Jennifer Goodwin. Oh, yeah. Okay, I could see. She's cute. Started Once Upon a Time, which has historical elements with its fairy tale nature. She has a public persona that seems to align with a more traditional or family-oriented lifestyle, which might resonate with Chris's values. All right. Interesting. Not who I would have chosen, but that's cool. I like it. All right, it's like we're applying for a job. What are my strengths and weaknesses, Grok? All right, deep knowledge of history. Chris has a strong passion for history, which is evident in his detailed content. His background in history education, although not as a full-time teacher. Dude, this thing's scarily accurate. Equips him with a good foundation to delve into various historical topics, particularly those related to the American Civil War, World War I, and medieval English history. Engagement with audience. Infectively, yes, sometimes I probably feel like I'm infecting you, don't I? He effectively engages his audience through reaction videos and site tours, which are both educational and entertaining. I hope so. His ability to react to other historical videos while adding his commentary has built him a significant following. So I'm wondering, so this is telling you what the sources are that it's using for the information. So it's using, YouTube channel and Wikitubia, for example. Beyond his main channel, Chris manages multiple YouTube channels, including gaming, extra content not related to history, and an archive for his historic site vlogs. This shows his versatility in content creation. Community and collaboration. His positive relationships with other history YouTubers demonstrate his ability to work collaboratively. He managed to maintain good standing with many creators, even amidst copyright disputes, which speaks to his professionalism and community respect. Yeah, I honestly, I'm not one of those people like Mr. Beat and Mr. Terry who are really, really good at going out of their way to network with other YouTubers. Those two guys are phenomenal at that. The only reason that I've done collaborations with guys like that is because they reached out to me. Because I'm not naturally I'm kind of a do everything yourself. That's why I've never hired an editor, for example. Even though I know there are people out there that could edit way better than I ever could. I'm just not somebody who goes out of their way to get involved with other people. So I'm glad that other people do that. But I do try to get along well with everybody. And as far as it depends on me, that's how it would be. All right, weaknesses. Bias and personal beliefs, yeah. While Chris generally keeps his personal politics out of his historical analyses, there have been instances where his religious beliefs, particularly his skepticism toward evolution and young Earth creationism views, have surfaced. Yeah, that's fair. This can lead to a disconnect with viewers who seek purely scientific or secular historical narratives. Completely fair. Completely fair. Limited scope in some areas. His expertise seems to be very concentrated in specific areas of history. Also very fair. Some viewers feel that when he ventures outside these specialties, the quality or depth of analysis might not be as robust, potentially leading to oversimplifications or errors. Absolutely possible. Absolutely true. Reaction video controversies. He has faced copyright claims for his reaction videos, notably from CGP Grey, which highlighted a potential legal vulnerability in his approach to content creation. Although these issues were resolved, they indicate a possible area of caution for creators in similar formats. Perception of content repurposing. Some critics argue his reaction videos might be seen as repurposing content without adding enough original insight. I'm not entirely sure. The first part is fair, but I don't think I've ever really been accused by any serious people of not adding enough original insight. But, all right, that's fair enough. All right, interesting. That was pretty cool, too.